Would you tell the audience about the premise of the show?
Sure. The premise of the show is if you had already made a vow, institutional and sometimes religious commitment to a relationship in the institution of marriage, would you try harder? Would you have a relationship that prospered that you might have thrown away too quickly if you were just dating? So I thought that was a really interesting premise. And in fact, what has happened is that we have had many people stay married, even have children. We have, I think, 7 or 8 kids now from various marriages. If in fact they said they were going to give it their all, and they did. It doesn't work for everyone, sadly. It is a high risk endeavor, but we have some people who are married and having families that I think got in their own way. Every other way they tried to have a relationship. The first show that you've seen with Jamie and Doug, they have 2 children, couples from Chicago, Dallas, Boston. They're all having kids. So, these are serious marriages. They're having families.
And I know that you have one show, at least in Australia. So you are going international as well?
Australia is a different kind of show, and quite honestly, not one that I'm in love with. It has the same name and some of the same premise, but from what I've heard from at least one producer of the show, it's all scripted. It's not reality, not real, and we are. It's very popular. It's the #1 show in Australia, but they engineer us a little bit like The Bachelor, where there's lots and lots of drama that's created as opposed to real. We are in 26 countries, some of which have their own version and language, others of which were in it but were dubbed. I'm not sure which is which, but yeah, I think for all the other ones, I think they're what they say they are. They're looking and chronicling and learning from actual people who are doing what they're doing the best they can. Australia is kind of an outlier, but it's very popular.
So when you say that you guys are in 26 countries, does that mean that you would pull participants from all these countries, or the distribution of the show has presence in 26 countries?
Yeah, it's just distributed in 26 countries. It's important to have each show in a specific city, because these people have to go on with their lives. They have jobs, they have family, they have a lot of things that tie them to that area, at least for the present. So we never do a show that isn't located in a very specific city.
Now, you are one of the main, if not the main expert on the show. How come we don't have a Seattle episode?
Well, we never have. One of the problems is we have a huge commitment to diversity. And while Seattle has a really wonderful and diverse series of Asian communities, whether it's Samoan or Japanese or Korean or Chinese, really great. We don't have a very large African American community. And when you get down to a specific number of people of a certain age who are single, who are willing to do this, etc., it makes it hard to do in Seattle. And we're trying to make sure that we have diverse couples, and we're getting more and more diverse in the cities we're in. But we start per city often 2,000 to 3,000 people who are volunteers, and we winnow it down from there. So we have to have a large pool, even though we only have 5 couples. You'd be surprised how hard it is with all the things that we're looking for to get those 5 couples.
Now, you know that I am a relationship consultant and a matchmaker. So, of course, my questions would be much more in depth, and because I'm in the field and I don't understand the challenges of matchmaking and the pool of singles. Like you said earlier, you have to have enough diversity so that you can have all the characteristics you're looking for in different people and then bring them together. So on the show, it was mentioned that the show has about 20,000 applicants or participants that send in their inquiries or application.
It's probably over 80,000 now.
Is that from all over the U.S. or
Yes.
Where are these participants pulled from?
It's 80,000 plus, I think, from over the whole U.S. And in a given city, we usually go to, if we have 2,000 or 3,000 in that city who are very interested in being married at first sight, or that we can, find through the various ways we look for people.
And where do you let people know that you are looking for people in a city?
2 ways. One, on marriedatfirstsight.com. We're always saying information about where we're going next. Like we're in Houston now. But also when we go to that city, we have a casting team that goes out 2 or 3 months ahead of time, and they start looking at Facebook. They ask people who know people to recommend them. They will go to lots of institutions, from YMCA's to churches, and think like, do you have people here that would like to hear about what we're doing? There are people whose whole job is just finding people. There's a whole team of people like that.
It's fun time.